Are we unmuted?
Yeah, there
Oh,
you
we are.
go.
Well, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, traders from across the globe. Traders Corner, thank you so much for having us. Great day watching the presentations. Thank you for allowing me to present today. So, traders, am I on? Is this it? We're on me, or we're having a conversation here, sir? Guess it's on me. Traders, good day. My name's Oscar Carboni. I don't know how many of you know me, but I'm somebody who worked on the trading floors his entire life since 18 years old, helped develop the systems that we all call what we trade on computers today. I was a computer nerd in the 80s and helped the exchanges put charts on computers. I've been at this forever. And here's what I've got to tell you today. I've got nothing I would dream of selling you. I've got a great Omni system. I wouldn't dream of boxing it up and selling it to just anyone in the world who wants to buy it. Because let me tell you right now, if you use price ladders where you place your orders, have you ever noticed on those price ladders, sometimes you see 5, 6, 10, 20. You sell your system to thousands of people around the world and they try to place orders at those prices, your system blows up. I wouldn't dream of selling my system. I teach 5 people at a time, 4 times a year, and that is it. I would never dream of boxing this up. But I've got something great I'm going to share with you. I'm going to give you great information that can help you move forward and make some money in the next few weeks or months, and it won't cost you a dime. Here's what I got for you. So I put out a YouTube video just about every night since 2006. I've got 19 years of videos. In these videos, I basically tell my Omniacs from around the world what's going to happen tomorrow using technical analysis, the Omni system, Oscar's market navigational indicator. Then I'm in a live trading room acting out those very same trades the next day. People from around the world tune in and I take them through those trades. We do this 6 days a week from Sunday night straight through to Friday night. It's very easy to find. I'll show you quickly. I wasn't planning on it, but the room's here now. I'm waving to you because I'm always in this live room. If you wanted to find me, you could simply just go to livewithoscar.com. Well, you go to none of these. You go to livewithoscar.com, and it's very simple. You just register. Likelihood is something will go to spam, unspam it, send it back. In 2 minutes, you put a username in, and you join me in my free live trading room at livewithoscar.com, and we can spend the rest of our lives together. I can teach you many things, help you get through these crazy markets, and maybe, just maybe, we can make a few bucks together. So let's take a look at what's going on. Omni Trading Academy is what I run. I've been running it my entire life, but I've got no PowerPoint for you, and I've got no really pretty AI pictures. I've got great knowledge. It's going to work a lot better than pretty AI pictures, I promise you. So you can find me there at any time, livewithoscar.com. If you like what you see, join the free trading room. Not even a credit card is required. Nothing is required to spend your life with me every day. If you really like what you see, I'm going to Australia to do an Omni boot camp for 4 people live in Australia. If you're from Australia, go to Omni boot camp and tell me if you'd like to join. I'll see if you qualify for a seat, but that's not what this seminar is about, this webinar. Here's what it is about right here. After reviewing many of my fans' emails from around the world, I've got 2 questions that are most common asked of me. Oscar, would you please explain this in your webinar on Saturday? Question 1, Oscar, is the year-end call for 75.12 in the E-mini S&P still valid for this year of 25? 75.12. By the way, that's my badge as well. What a crazy call. Number 2, what will the rate decreases that are going to happen on Wednesday do to the markets? This is what people need to know for next week. This is what I'm here for. So let's go on a little hunt and see for ourselves exactly what is going on. We're going to answer these questions in reverse. We're going to take 2. We're going to look at what should happen with interest rate decreases. Then we're going to go to 1 and find out if we're still on target to go all the way to 75.12 in the stock market, S&P this year. By the way, that call was given when the markets were at their lowest point at 4,800. Go Omni call. All right. First, we will do a review of the AI Revolution portfolio. Because in October of 23, this is 25 now, just about 2 years ago, NVIDIA came out. NVIDIA had a price of $1,000 and people couldn't afford it and they all wanted to be in the AI revolution. So I grabbed my Omniacs from around the world and I said, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to put together a portfolio of fantastic stocks that you should put in your account that will make up for not being able to afford NVIDIA, but these stocks are the AI revolution. Put them in your account and hold them and forget NVIDIA. This is where you'll make your money if you believe in the AI revolution. So that we started in 2023. The first thing we're going to do is go over that AI portfolio and see where those stocks are now, because I've got traders around the world that have been following this AI portfolio and they have these stocks. So every time I do a webinar, first thing we do is update the AI portfolio, then we go learn some new stuff. So after we check out the AI portfolio, next we will check on the technical health of our stock markets and see where they can likely go from here. I hope many of you take this information and make sound trades, put on great positions. I hope this presentation helps you dramatically. Let's start with the AI portfolio. You're looking at NVIDIA. Traders Corner, you guys have been watching this for 2 years. You know these stocks. NVIDIA came out and just exploded. That was before, if everyone remembers, when we had this share split. NVIDIA was over $1,000. It was $10.50 a share. And I put out this video in October of 23, and I said, listen, welcome to the AI revolution. This industry is young. This revolution is just getting started. How would I know? Because I've been on the trading floor since 1982. When the computer revolution came out, the markets rallied for about 7 straight years. Nothing goes straight up, but we had a 7-year bull run. When the internet came out, we had about a 7-year bull run. Go back and look, kids. I'm not making this up. I lived it. Now the AI revolution is out. It only started in November of 22, kids. It is a baby. This is only 2025. You've got 4 or 5 years of bull market coming based on what we know. And what we know is the computer revolution took the stock market up for 7 years. The internet, when that came out in 1994, took the stock market up for about 7 years. I promise you, AI, the revolution is taking us higher. So I said, I hope these cheaper alternatives I'm about to show you will allow you to participate in the AI revolution, as NVIDIA is way too expensive at $10.50. Now we must remember we're going back to the date here of October of 2023, when Omni started getting interested in the AI revolution. So I said, traders, let's go look at the series of stocks you can afford, and let's go look at that series of stocks. So first one I gave out was the AI play called the AIQ.Q on Metastock. If you look at this fantastic AI stock, I mean, look at it go. It's an ETF. Look at it go. I mean, could you imagine? We got involved with it here. That's what I did the first webinar. Now, every time I do a webinar about these AI stocks, I put a little diamond or a W at the webinar. Webinar, keep the stocks. Webinar, take some stocks out, keep the rest. Webinar, hold all the rest of the stocks. Webinar, hold the stocks. So this is what we do at each webinar. This one we're going to continue to hold. It's the AIQ.Q. Now, traders, I grew up on Wall Street, and I have told my traders 1,000 times, this whole gamut is based on market geometry. You can come up with gimmicks. You can come up with beautiful AI pictures. You can come up with these programs that run all sorts of stats for you. And I promise you, you're not looking at what Wall Street is looking at. They are looking at complete simplicity. I know that doesn't sound right. I grew up on Wall Street. They're not looking at complication. They're looking at simplicity. How do I know? I'm going to show you 2 examples of the most simplest things that we do on Wall Street that make money almost every time we see them. Here's example number 1 of how geometry works. Watch this. This trend line right here is something that Wall Street is using called forward geometry. I have a trend line that starts here, goes from one low to the next low. That's it. The rest of this chart doesn't exist yet. None of this has happened. I've got a little baby trend line right here and a little chart. Watch what happens when I extend my trend line. How did they know to buy it here? How did Wall Street know to buy it here? How did Wall Street know to buy it here? Even with the Trump tariffs, it only went through a little, came right back. got right back in the channel. Now, that was the whole bottom of the channel. You tell me Wall Street's not playing off that, you don't know how to read a chart. Now, watch this. Example number 2. You tell me Wall Street doesn't use geometry, you don't know anything about markets. Here we have another trend line. It goes from this high to this high. That's it. The rest of these bars haven't happened yet. They don't exist. What could happen if we extended this trend line? Oh my God, it hits here. It hits here, but what's it do every time it hits? It backs off. Hits here, backs off to where? At the bottom of the trend. Hits here, backs off. Remember, that was a teeny little trend line over in the corner there. How does Wall Street know? They love geometry, kids. I grew up there, I promise you. It's all about market geometry. You'll see. Now, trading is risky, and we always put our stops in first, because no matter what we do for trading, you don't know what's going to happen next. So what we do at the Omni Trading Academy is no matter what trade we're going to take, we first place a protective stop in the market. Then we get into a live position, so that no matter what happens, our insurance policy is in place before we drive the car around. So here's your first and second example of market geometry. Those are crystal clear examples. If you don't see that, you should rerun this tape when it's over. Next, the next stock in our portfolio was the BOTZ. It's the bots.o on Metastock. Look at this insane ETF. Look at how from down here, when Omni started liking it, we did our first webinar, and then second webinar, and then third webinar, and we just kept advising traders to hold on, and you'll see what happened during the tariffs, and you'll see why my traders were told to hold on to these trades even during the tariffs during this session. So the bots looks pretty good. Let's move to the next one. You're going to hold on to bots. We're not going to get rid of it. Buzz, fantastic. And once again, look at the geometry that these clowns used all the way up. I mean, these guys know what they're doing. Wall Street, they're so smart about this. Simple and smart. So Omni likes it here. I start telling the world about it. We do webinar after webinar, and look what it's done now. Now it's in a massive bear flag. It just, a massive bull flag, if you will. It just broke out of, on its way to run up to new highs. So Buzz K was a fantastic alternative to NVIDIA so far, and were the rest of those ETFs. Let's go look at more, because first we got to get through this portfolio before we even learn anything about markets. IQM, the Franklin Intelligent Machines ETF. Once again, we gave this out back here when Omni got interested. And we did our webinars all the way through, telling people, our Omniacs, please stay in the 25-bar algorithm or the 25-bar moving average. Wall Street is keying off of it. They're just programming it into the stock. Stay with it, stay with it. And look what the stock has done so far. Excellent work by Wall Street holding up these ETFs and these AI stocks. Let's go look at the next one. Loopy, another insanely strong ETF based completely on AI. Look at the rally it's getting into now. Look at this green channel. Away we go. We're going to continue to hold. Every one of these I've shown you so far. We're not removing any of these from our portfolio, but boy, are they cranking it out for us, aren't they? Now, some of these have been removed. LRNZ, about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 webinars ago, we removed it. I didn't like the way it was acting. I didn't like the Omni signals we're getting, Oscar's Market Navigational Indicator, the Omni. So we removed LRNZ back here where we say removed. And even though we removed it, it still made its way up. Look at that. Insanity, right? There's no stopping this AI revolution. Traders, if you like what you're seeing, if you want to join me, if you're in Australia, this is going to happen in Australia, in Queensland next month, go to omnibootcamp.com and fill out an application, and I'll see if you get approved for one of the 5 seats that I'll be teaching students in Australia. So AI Play Learns is out of the portfolio. Next, another one we yanked from the portfolio right here where it says removed, and look, it still made its way up. I mean, it's making new highs now. So even the laggards that weren't really staying with the rest of the AI portfolio, even they have caught up. Just amazing. There's no stopping this AI revolution. I know you've heard on TV and certain places you read on the internet, the AI revolution's almost over. They've put too much money in it. Don't listen to nonsense. Listen to the charts. They're much smarter than people are. You bought the Robo AI automation ETF. We loved it for a while. We got rid of it right here where it says removed, right? So we can show you, you know, I do these webinars as often as I can to keep my Omniacs appraised and apprised of these stocks to make sure they keep in their portfolio or remove what should have been removed. If I remember right, we've only removed 3 out of about 15. And let's go to the next one. Okay, this one hasn't been removed. Defiance is a nice one, by the way. Omni gains interest back here. It just starts to go. A nice fat run up. Tariffs knock it down, and look at the explosion we're getting now. Another bull flag type of formation here. Breakout. We love the Defiance Quantum ETF. We would keep that in our portfolio. And finally, the one we added not too long ago. So in 23, we started this portfolio. In 24, we added MSTR. Now, MSTR is more wrapped up in Bitcoin than just about any of the other AI stocks I showed you. And look at the difference. All those AI stocks are going through the roof. If you remember, Bitcoin made its high a few weeks ago, around 124. And so did MSTR. So what I will tell you is MSTR is finding support right here, and so is Bitcoin, by the way, which we will get to in this webinar. So we still like MSTR. That stays in the portfolio. We started liking it at 184 with a 277 target, which got hit. And since then, we've just maintained hold on to MSTR. So that is the portfolio that I always show at the beginning of these webinars, because I've got a lot of traders around the world that actually put these on. Traders, you're doing great. Hold on to them. I love what we've done since 23. Now let's go to work. Kids, let's go find out what else is going on. So the first question, well, the second question I'm going to answer first. What happens to the markets when Powell, who is being forced, by the way, to lower rates? And he's succumbing to pressure, which he shouldn't do, but I'm not a politician. I'm a trader. So let's go find out. Chart 19 should get us there. Okay, here's your T-bonds, traders. What's happening with T-bonds is that they're starting to head back up slowly. They have broken out of this really long-term trend line. You can see right there. And if Powell continues to go on a rate decrease program, because he's going to talk about it this Wednesday coming up, are we cutting rates once only and that's it? Because then the bond market will fade back down. Are we going on a rate cut campaign? The bond market will fill in this area right here. Now, what makes that important is this. T-bonds work like this. If you don't know this, quick lesson. When T-bond futures go up, interest rates go down. This is inherent. This has to happen. Powell doesn't have to say or do a thing. When you see the market, let me just grab a little thing here so I can, there we go. When you see the bond market going up, interest rates are going down. When you see the bond market going down, it is raising interest rates. I promise you this happens whether Powell and the Fed says a word. This is automatic. So if you've got bonds on a little teeter-totter and we're out in the playground, if you got T-bonds on one side, if they're going up, it makes interest rates automatically go down. Now, bonds have slowly been trying to rise since way back in May, between May and June. And now they're starting to get on a rise, and this is good because once again, when bonds go up, interest rates go down. How would that help the market? Wait until you see. Next, let's go look at the market now. Will interest rates going down help the market? 1000% yes. Technically, anytime you lower interest rates, you force the market higher. If you look at the E-mini S&P right now, it's above all of its previous highs. It's above all the static. It's above all the traffic, and it's starting to run. Why? Because we're going to lower rates on Wednesday. Even if Wall Street comes in on Monday and Tuesday and pushes this market down, they're taking it up once the rates get lowered. Why would the market go up if they lower rates? Well, it's going to make everything go up. It buoys up everything. Stocks. Why do stocks go up if the Fed lowers rates? Well, stock companies that are public issue monthly bonds to traders, investors all over the world. Investors give them money. That's how JP Morgan pays its month-to-month bills. It sells forward bonds. Now, if it can borrow money at a cheaper price. It can afford to sell the money at a cheaper price. In other words, if a stock is worth $2 because it could borrow money at 4%, if it could borrow money at 3.5%, the stock automatically goes up in value. Automatically goes up in value because now the price of money's gotten cheaper. That is going to happen to our stock market. They're going to lower rates, and it's going to buoy the stock market. So even the S&P is showing you that it wants to go higher already, right? Let's look at NASDAQ. Look at this NASDAQ chart. And once again, it looks like it just wants to explode, right? It's broken above. We had basically a beautiful pennant, got above the pennant, but bigger than that, the market geometry has worked all the way up, all the way. You had a one-day penetration or violation of this support. Wall Street jumped on it the entire time. And now that we're breaking out, they're heading towards the top line, which is what happens almost always after hitting the bottom line. So they are using geometry, and they're going to take this market higher. I promise you, that is what is going on here. So that was ES and NASDAQ. By the way, once again, OmniCamp will be held on October 17th through the 21st. It's a 5-day session when you're with me at the Gold Coast, Queensland, Australia. Just go to Omni Bootcamp if you're interested in that. I usually host these here in Las Vegas, but we're going abroad for this one. So NASDAQ looking like it wants to explode. By the way, the highest NASDAQ's ever been in its life is where this line is right now. What does that tell you? All right, we're getting ready to lower rates. These things are going to go. What else is next? Look at this guy. The infamous YM chart. This is the mini Dow. So when you look at this, here's what you've got. A market that put in what we usually consider a flat top. And I promise you, if you've been watching my videos for 20 years, these flat tops work phenomenally well. But on Thursday, they took us above the flat top, which turns this flat top into an ascending wedge, right? Now you got an ascending wedge. You've got interest rates about to be lowered. You've got all the reason in the world to take this higher. And of course, you just recently bounced off the bottom of the geometry. Wall Street wants to take this higher. The mini Dow is going higher. Flat tops usually produce market drops. In this case, it did not work. And the market looks like it went through and took out stops. Now, there is one thing that could happen here. You could end up coming down for 2 days, Monday, Tuesday, till the Fed meeting. And then back up we'll go. So be ready for that this week, traders. It's not going to be easy because the Fed's going to speak, but the Omni will tell us whether we should be long or short, no doubt. So that was your YM. Let's go now look at slightly longer term pictures. This is what bottoms markets, traders. This is a massive, massive head and shoulders formation with a V bottom. And this is what's happened since we've come out of the head and shoulders. Now, you got to remember, all of this has happened since the tariff lows, right? When everyone thought the world was coming to an end, not the Omni, you'll see by the end of this webinar, and market came racing down. Well, look what it's done. All it's done was put in an inverted, bullish, inverted head and shoulders with a V bottom, and look at the run you've had so far without the Fed lowering rates. Wait until they lower. All right, let's go look at the next one. That was Russell, right? Let's go look at the ES. ES has the same thing. Look at this. Tariffs came out here. Boom. All it did was give us the lows or the bottom of an inverted head and shoulders. Right shoulder was made. Look at this run that's taken place so far. Nice V bottom, nice bullish run. Nothing wrong with that look, right? Let's go look at another. Now you're looking at the NASDAQ. Nothing wrong with that look either, right? Fantastic looking chart. I did tell everyone when we created these formations before any of this existed that these are bullish formations and we would go higher based on analysis. Higher we've gone. So OmniX have seen every one of these charts as they were created, by the way. I'm showing you charts now that we all used in videos and at my trading academy every day. So now these are charts that worked out really well, but we did create them as they were top day charts. I just wanted to give you some confidence in where this market is going and what the Fed lowering rates is going to do. Everything we look at so far is pointing up, not down. And let's go to YM. Once again, you've got the same thing in the mini Dow. Look at this monster move, and the Dow has put in all-time highs where it's never been before. So, I think we're answering the question ourselves, to be honest. What is going to happen when they lower rates? This is going to continue. But let's be sure. Let's look around and just be sure. So what else do we have that should end up with a nice push once they start lowering rates? Let's go here. Hi ho, silver. Look at this thing, kids. Now, welcome to bull flag heaven. Talk about simplicity. This is a market that just loves to put in bull flags, except for this one little piece of it. We don't know what it is. Bull flag, bull flag, bull flag. They work like crazy. It's just what Wall Street likes in silver. I don't care. I don't reinvent wheels. I find out what wheel works. I put it on my car. I drive it really fast. This is the wheel that works in silver, obviously. So we put this trade out on Friday, and this bar didn't exist. And I said, traders, get ready for the upside. Hi ho, silver. This was in my video Thursday night for Friday. And boom, away we've started to go. Silver targets, traders, if you want to know where we're going next, 44.27, then 44.52. Now you're looking at someone who spent his entire life. First of all, I grew up in the silver pit. That's the first trading pit I was ever in my life, back in the 80s. And I've spent my whole life telling people, when silver, the dog, sticks its ugly head up, take out your lawnmower and chop it off. It's been my advice to my omniacs around the world my whole life. Here I am 44 years later, and I'm giving higher targets. Could you imagine? Whoever thought I'd do that? But I follow charts, not my opinion. My opinion is silver's a dog. The charts say it's going up. We follow charts, not my opinion. Silver. Now let's go to gold. By the way, I build these webinars the night before the webinar. I've got no PowerPoint. I've got nothing specially made for you cats. I look at the charts. I build the webinar literally the night before. I built this last night. So looking at gold, came out of a massive, huge pennant, this blue pennant, broke out in a channel. Away we go. Gold is going higher. Oddly enough, in the old days when rates were going down, it would make gold go down too. When rates were going up, it would create inflation fears and gold would go up. But in this case, lowering rates is just going to create more money and buoy everything. Silver, gold, you name it. You know what else is going to get buoyed by this? Let me show you this next one. Bitcoin, it is just starting to feel it now. Look, I've been showing this chart for months and months and months. We've made so much with it so far. And got my omniacs, at least I got long all the way down to here on Bitcoin and expected this, and here we go. I'm so glad I bought all this crap. It's told you cats in videos every night to buy it with me, or just about, and in my trading room. So here we are breaking out of a massive bull flag. By the way, bull flags are all over the charts lately. It's not like I like bull flags. It's not like I care about bull flags. I care about whatever is current at the moment. If there were something that weren't bull flags, I could care less what the formation was. That's what I'm interested in, right? I'm into whatever the markets are into. They're into bull flags right now, like you've seen all over the charts, and so am I. So breaking out of this bull flag, we are probably now going to take out the 124. Nothing goes straight up, as we know, but we're going to probably take out the 124 highs and go to my 126 target. That comes next in Bitcoin, 126. We had 121, 124. Both of those were hit. 126 comes next. We'll see what happens when we get there. I'll pull another target. Don't forget Australia. Come join me in OmniCamp. Go to omnibootcamp.com. One OmniCamp in Australia. You either hang with me for 5 days or you don't, kids. I will change your life if you do. So make sure you fill out those applications. What else is out there? So now we looked at Bitcoin, and we could see a lot of the markets that are going to go up because they're going to lower rates. Will we make the 75-12 year-end call? This badge has nothing to do with the year-end call, by the way. Well, let's go look around. So next chart we should look at is this. I call this chart masterpiece. We've been using this chart for several years now to keep us in check. Several years. Us Omniacs have been using this chart to keep us in check with the NASDAQ. And what this is showing us is not only has the NASDAQ broken out above what used to be considered a double top, it's on its way to all-time new highs. It is going. NASDAQ doesn't want to hear anything about it. The only time NASDAQ had trouble this year with tariffs. Tariffs here, lows were in, got back into the channel, away we go. This is answering the question about will we go to 75-12 to the yes side so far. Let's go to another chart. This chart, Omni action traders around the world, I completely amazed myself and all the rest of my Omniacs with this one. You have to see what we did last year. This is a testament to the power of technical analysis. That was to remind me grains are going to close during the week. This is a testament to the power of technical analysis. There are many witnesses to me creating this chart in 2024. There is no better chart reader on this planet than me and the Omni. Watch this, just watch. This is insanity. Here's where we are in November of 24. NASDAQ is running away, going crazy, making all-time new highs. And I came out with this targeted area by April of 25, 15,300 in NASDAQ. And here's what happens next. We missed it by this much. That was how little the bar needed to go further to hit my target. We were trading at 21,553. And Omni gave me a call for 15,300. And I went, oh, I can't even show this to my Omniac. So I showed it to him and I said, here's what we're going to do. We're going to pretend this call doesn't exist. And we're going to put this chart away. And we put it away in December. We didn't bother to look at it again until April. When April started and this started to happen, we needed to look at this chart again. And look what analysis did for us. I mean, has anyone ever been able to make calls like that way before they happen? Insanity, right? That is pure technical analysis. What else is out there? Here's the one that's the real kicker. Traders, a little explanation of this chart. That's why there's some words on it. This is the E-mini S&P weekly bar chart, the S&P weekly bar. Tariffs get announced and I come out with, please stay calm, do not bail out of stocks. I'm going to do a seminar. I'm going to do a series of videos. Don't get out, and here's why. So, speaking about the power of technical analysis, on Sunday, April 6th, right before the tariffs were going to be announced, I started a series of videos. In those videos, I begged people, don't get out of the stock market when it cracks. I'll explain why. So I started them on April 6th. My video was released on Sunday before the markets opened, because on Friday and over the weekend, if you remember, we had a big problem. So the title of the series of videos was Do Not Bail Out of the Stock Market. Wall Street support is on the way. On the weekend and on Friday and on Monday, you had the biggest CEOs of Wall Street come out. Morgan, Goldman, you name it, Kramer as well. They all came out and said, we're going to have a major crash and then a recession because Trump raised tariffs on us. And here's what I did. I came out and said, hold on, everyone, don't go anywhere. Proof charts know best. Stay calm, don't get out. And I did this. We were all the way up here. Tariffs got announced. I came out with this circle. There was no bars here at all. And I said, do not get out. We have a targeted area, 49.75 to 47.75. If it drops in that area, you get long, don't get out. The market dropped right to our area, like it was scripted, right to the Omni area, and exploded out. So let me just do a little more anatomy of this. When Powell stopped lowering rates, a lot of people forget he used to lower rates. This was the day or the week Powell stopped lowering rates. Immediately, the market started to go down. Immediately. Then when Powell was done, Trump came out and said tariffs. And immediately, the market started to really fall apart. And the analysis told me, tell your Omniacs, get out in front of this camera, tell them when this happens, don't get out. And that's what I did in a series of videos. We didn't get out. We didn't get out of the AI portfolios. We didn't get out of our trades. In fact, I convinced people to buy more when we got down here. And look at what's happened since. We've had a 1,774 point rally off these lows. We hit 66.06 so far from 48.32. We made fresh new highs coming out of this. We need 906 more points to reach my 75.12 target. 906 more points in the next 4.5 months. You think we can get there? 3.5 months. If you look what happened, we rallied 1,700 points in 3 months. You don't think we can rally 900 points in 3 more months at the end of this year while the Fed's lowering rates? The answer is yes. We will hit 75.12 target this year. That is the presentation I had for you traders. This is what I wanted to show you today. I wanted to show you that we will go up when they lower rates, even if it's not automatically right in the beginning. It has to push us up. And yes, we will reach 75.12. Now, if you want to hang out with me in my live free trading room and learn some of this analysis, I promise you this much. I know you won't believe me, but what I just showed you here, this is my technical analysis 101. I am laying on a cot in pre-kindergarten, drinking warm milk and eating cookies right now. I swear, this is as simple as I could get and still be effective. It's much, much more intricate when you do the Omni, and the Omni tells you exactly where to buy and sell and where to place your stops. It's way cooler, but I've got to give you the abstract analysis to at least show you our goods, what we're capable of. But boy, are we capable of a whole lot more than this if you ever meet me in person. If you want to at least hang out with me, remember, join me in my free live trading room. It's really easy to get to it. It doesn't require a credit card. You're just going to simply go to livewithoscar.com. In fact, let me make it easy. Let me just type it for you. Just go here. The membership is absolutely free. You might have an email go to spam, unspam it. Come join me in my trading room. I live in this trading room. I live these charts. This is my life. This is my presentation to you. Come spend your life with me like I spend my life doing this. We'll all be better traders in the end. With that, Mr. Trader's Corner, I give my time back to you. Thank you so much for allowing me to present.
Thank you, Oscar. Your ability to decode the market through clean chart analysis is second to none, and you are one of one when it comes to the geometry. Nobody is doing it like you are, sir. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Enjoy your day. I will see you all at livewithoscar.com. There is this. Every video ends the same way. You got to let me end this one the same way.
Oh,
you with me?
This is all you.
Come on, are you with me, kids? You know this by now. 1, 2, 3. Stops are in. Emotions are out. Traders, learn it, live it. That is the truth. Put your stops in first. Keep your emotional decisions out of decision making.
Thank you so much for those reminders, Oscar. You called the AI revolution better than anyone I know, and it was the same thing with the cryptos. So we really appreciate you being here, and we wish you in the future OmniX all the best of luck. So thank you so much for sharing.
Thank you so much. All the best to all of you. Appreciate you.